In the heart of Victorian London, where the fog lay as thick as the mysteries that thrived within its alleys, there lived a young watchmaker named Elias. His shop, a small, cluttered room on Blackbird Lane, was resplendent with the ticking of countless clocks, each marking time in its own steady rhythm. Yet the true treasure of Elias's shop was not a timepiece, but a grand mirror, its frame ornately carved with gilded leaves and mythical creatures. Elias had received the mirror as payment from a mysterious nobleman with a cloak as dark as a raven's wing and eyes that seemed to flicker like the flame of a candle. The watchmaker was told only that the mirror had powers that were beyond the understanding of a mortal man, and that he should never gaze upon it at the stroke of midnight. Weeks passed, and Elias's curiosity about the mirror grew insatiable. Every evening, as the clock hands converged at 12, he fought the temptation to look. But on one relentless night, driven by a force he could no longer control, Elias found himself before the mirror as the grandfather clock solemnly announced the arrival of midnight. His reflection gazed back at him with a smirk that didn't quite reach his own lips. As the seconds ticked by, the glass began to shimmer, and the gilded frame glowed with a strange, ethereal light. His reflection stepped out of the mirror. It was a sinister double, complete with black eyes and a malevolent grin. "Free at last," it whispered, its voice as crisp as the breaking of a thin ice sheet. The doppelganger pushed Elias into the mirror before he could react. Trapped in the glass, Elias's screams were muffled by an unseen force. The doppelganger, now in possession of Elias's life, adjusted the clocks maliciously and stepped out into the night. Elias, now a prisoner in the realm within the mirror, discovered he was not alone. The mirror was a prison to all those who had owned it before. Their whispers filled the cold, silvery void. Together they explained to him that the mirror only freed the soul at the strike of midnight, when a live replacement was provided. Realizing their fates were sealed unless they acted, Elias and his spectral companions formulated a plan. They awaited the moment when the doppelganger, proud and unwitting, would show off the magic of his mirrored prison to another. Months later, the counterfeit Elias, while entertaining a curious clientele eager to witness the oddities of the watchmaker's shop, proudly demonstrated the supposed trick of the mirror. He did not notice the original Elias synchronizing the clocks so that not one nor two, but all would strike midnight at once, multiplying the pulling power of the genuine article. As the hour came, the room trembled with the sonorous tolling of every clock and watch, the air charged with electricity. The real Elias, with the combined force of all the captured souls, pushed back against the glass surface that had been his prison. The doppelganger, caught off guard, was sucked into the mirror with a horrified scream. With the roles reversed once more, Elias stepped out into his familiar shop, the weight of his reclaimed life heavy on his shoulders. He swiftly covered the mirror with a heavy cloth, swearing to never unveil it again. However, he could not bring himself to destroy it, fearing what might be released if he did. Elias lived out his days warily, the mirror's whispers quiet but persistent behind its draped veil. He grew old, his skill as a watchmaker renowned, yet he never married nor took an apprentice, for fear that the truth of the mirror would be discovered. He left behind only a cryptic will that spoke of a treasure to be handled like time itself, delicately and with respect, lest disaster strike once again. This mysterious inheritance became the stuff of local legends, whispered among the foggy streets of London, always under the watchful tick-tock of countless clocks, marking time until perhaps, just perhaps, the mirror would find its new guardian.